All right. Sorry for the inconveniences. We had a little bit of technical difficulties in the picks and bans phase. So far for the Mind Goblins, we have Daji, Kali, Hades, Jingtian, and Ganesh. And for the Hanford Hairnet, they have a Cupid, Ishtar, Neja, Ymir, and Guan Yuban. I am Dorky Wannabe and I'm here joined by my lovely co-host.
Kid Slim.
Awesome. It's good to have you here.
It's great to be here. Great to start the new season of RSL. Second game of the week. I'm
Oh.
excited.
All right, so we have a Thor pick on the side of the Mind Goblins. Thor, really strong god. And on the other side, we have an AMC. Now, tell me, how do you feel about this matchup so far, seeing that they have a Thor?
Oh, and a Thanatos pick. Interesting. Well, I do like the Thor being top picked here. With his recent buffs, his hammer and his wall getting damage now. I also do like the AMC pick though. It's a great flex. You can play it mid carry. And the Thanatos, they picked the Thanatos, and the Mind Goblins say, we don't care about him. We're still gonna get Kepri.
Okay, I do like the Kepri
Look
with
into
the
my
res, but
eyes.
it does get kind of countered by this execute. So I'm really hoping that these Keprios do pay off.
With me, you all shall flourish and
Their
prosper.
ADC looks like the ADC matchups is gonna be Kernanos and Medusa, so it looks like that it will be an AMC mid, and the Kernanos will go to the ADC, so can't wait to see how the
Wisdom
Mind
shall
Goblins
be my
All
answer
right.
shield.
back with that.
So looking at some of these bands, I'm seeing a lot of Guardian bands from the side of Mind Goblins. They really don't seem to like these big CC heavy gods so far. What do you think that says about how they feel towards these sort of gods?
I think Jin Tian's a good ban here, because none of
For
them really have that
Camelot!
good of CC
For
units, and
Avalon!
I see 3 ADCs on the side of Hereford Hornets. Where do you
Ooh.
think that who's going in support here?
Honestly, it's so hard to tell, but it could be a double ADC lane, to be honest. I could say maybe like CERN and Chiron, and then it's like an AMC mid, perhaps.
Hmm. Could very well be a little more standard draft for the Mind Goblins here, the Athena and the King Arthur, both of their frontliners. Really good setup for Thor and Medusa, obviously the taunt into Medusa.
You only hit
All right.
what you aim
Oh.
at.
Oh, so,
Wisdom
There's
shall
2
be my
Chirons in the game.
shield.
Where's Morrigan
oh,
at?
oh my. But yeah, okay. So now we're looking at something a little bit more standard.
That
So
that makes more sense.
maybe it's going to be a Chiron mid, and it's going to be Medusa ADC.
Yeah, that looks a little more standard. Chiron obviously to match the AMC pressure. So that's a good pickup on their part. And now the Jingtian ban makes a little more sense, obviously with the Jingtian's one reducing the basic attack damage. So it's a good makes more sense now.
I'm looking at the solo lane. I'm seeing King Arthur versus Bologna. Normally, this is a matchup that we've seen a lot in many games. How do you think this is going to fare in the current patch so far?
I hate both of them. That's the only response you're gonna get from me. I hate both of them.
I share the same sentiment. It's fun to play as these gods, but whenever you're playing against them, you just hate every single existing moment that you're in this game. You just want to F6 and get out as fast as you can. So much pressure, so many abilities, and the passives are just insane on these gods.
I can't wait to see how they play it. Quick question for you. Who do you think takes this game just based on the drafts alone?
So I think that draft wise, the Mind Goblins to me feel like they have a better comp. They have great dive potential with this Thor. The King Arthur's going to be in the backline just disrupting every single bit of it. They have a CC immunity cleanse with the Chiron 1, which if they place it properly, that could actually save a lot of people. And Medusa's ultimate, really good team fight ult. It can basically just change a game. So in my opinion, I think Mind Goblins have a better team comp.
I I
For
do believe that the
Camelot!
Hereford
For
Hornets actually have the.
Avalon!
Oh, where
Oh,
is the Morrigan? Well, she's
Roma
not picked, is she?
oh,
Invicta!
all right. So, see here.
Does that change your mind? Do the technical difficulties that we have change your mind now?
I think I'm still gonna pick the Mind Goblins here. But the Hanford Hairnets do have a pretty good comp as well. I think that if the Athena can get the job done and she's always in their faces, just pressing taunt and gets the follow up that she knows she's gonna get, I think the Mind Goblins could have a really rough time during this game.
Right. Now look, you got AMC Kernidos in the back line. That's on to be honest with you, that's the best back line you could honestly ask for, at least in my opinion, in this patch. Or in this meta. So I think that they have a good shot at winning this based on just their back line alone. I think King Arthur and Thanatos just being in the Mind Goblins back line, not gonna allow them to play the game that much. I think Chiron's gonna have to use his one more for the CC immunity than he is for damage. So that's a good play for the Hanford Hornets to play off of. And that's just one less damaging ability that's going to be affecting their backliners as well as Athena and King Arthur as well.
I do agree with you. The Sun one, it's not the best of abilities in the game, but the amount of utility that does bring to a team fight is really good. Especially the prot shred. Once you just land a couple of autos onto one tank, their prots are basically gone and they're just gonna get melted away immediately. And pair that with an AMC ult on top of that, I don't think any frontline is ever gonna make it out of these team fights alive.
The good thing about AMC ult is that his ultimate is just a physical prot shed. So regardless of the fact that the Hanford Hornets have 4 physical, if a stinger lands on you, you might as well just not have any physical prots to begin with. And so all that with 4 physicals just raining down on you, it's not going to be a fun time for you.
I agree. Trust me. I've been hit by several stingers in my time, either as a tank or an ADC, and it is not fun. Being slowed, crippled with my procs low. I'm just looking for any like sight of salvation to just get out of there and please let me live. Honestly, it's just really frustrating to get hit by those ultimates.
Understandable as a support main myself. You know, have you ever been stuck as a Ymir and just trying to ult an AMC and then he just stingers you and you die? Unfun.
All right, and we are going to be heading into our game. Mind Goblins versus Hanford Hairnets. I'm looking forward to see who's going to take this first game.
Oh boy, you know both teams are going to be coming swinging out the gates hard. You know, it's their first matchup, it's their first game of the week of the season. You know, they're going to be putting everything that they can into this first set. So I can't wait to see what everybody does here.
I agree with you. I'm looking forward to see some of these players just shine as well. I've I've worked closely with Bash as well. Grant, uh, really great solo laner. He's got a really good god pool as well. I've heard a lot of talk about Killjoy as well. I'm new to this place as well in Reap, and I've heard a lot of good names here. I see a lot of good names here as well. Killjoy, Bops, Omni. Like these are some good players.
Def,
And
def,
I'm wondering if you have any insight on these players that I could learn of as well.
Definitely a lot of there's definitely a lot of veterans here as well as some new players. You know, Skills has actually been here since season 1. I was with him then, playing against him. His low key was very annoying back then, also, but I think he's one of like and Skills and Spooky, both of them being season 1 veterans, both of them in their roles that they've played since season 1. So that should always be very helpful for a team. And some new people like Bash. I haven't seen Bash. This is my first time seeing Bash. Then again, he could have played last season. I didn't cast last season. I was taking a hiatus for personal issues, but that's definitely a new face for here. So it's great to see, you know, old blood mixed with new and to see what they can come up with for these type of games.
Definitely, it is very refreshing, and sometimes it can actually just revitalize a team as well. You know, sometimes teams can get into a rough patch, and then they bring somebody new in, and they basically feel revitalized with that new energy, young, fresh blood, and they'll start outperforming like they used to back then, and they'll just shock some people with the results.
Absolutely. And speaking of results, we do see Bash getting low over there in the solo lane, wondering if he will be fine. He should be. He's a King Arthur, but you know, being out pressured by a Bologna early, it's just par for the course, in my
Yes.
opinion, into that matchup.
Yes, the bludgeon is just such a good ability, increasing damage for every like up to 3 enemies hit, and it's just such a insane amount of wave clear level 1 to start off with. It's really hard to out clear a Bologna level 1.
Absolutely. And another thing that I've seen, I've sat there in the picks and bans thinking that it'd be a Chiron mid, because I think Chiron is just better in mid, and I think he matches up against the AMC a little bit better, but it's actually Medusa in mid instead.
Medusa mid. All right. Well, maybe there's a couple of reasons why. I mean, I guess Medusa mid is, I guess, not as safe as a Chiron when it comes to being in the ADC lane. She has a shorter dash. Meanwhile, Chiron has a dash that can knock you backwards, and he'll just get away for free of charge. He can also auto you in that dash as well, and he can just cripple you as well a little bit, slow you down with that too.
Now, but the thing with that is I think Killjoy can take a lot of advantage off of that, because if Chiron just dashes in a straight line, Kernanos just throws his bramble bush. Obviously with the new updates a little while ago, it's now a root and a cripple, so that kind of puts Omni based in a situation where, do I dash him and risk being crippled, or do I save it to disengage?
Now, good thing that you did mention that root and cripple. But then again, I think that he would also be in a good matchup against the Cerninos, considering that he has two forms of CC immunity when it comes to his one and also the beads. So if he ever got rooted, he could just pop his one if he has it off cooldown, and he just basically just gets out for free, and he would
Oh,
just be safe
Tina!
after that.
There's the dash engage like we were talking about. It looks like both of them just get out. That time he waited for the bramble bush to go down before using his dash. So that's a good smart play by him there. And looks like in mid, King Arthur low actually in solo lane. Now that we're looking at it, King Arthur getting a little bit pressured out. I do I do want to talk about these builds while we're in the first like 4 minutes.
Mhm.
Typically in ADC we've been seeing a little more transition into Devos into hmm, Death's Toll into Devos. Sorry, English is hard. But
No,
we
it's
see
okay.
Kernanos with Leather Cow, actually. It does seem like he's going to go Devourer's Gauntlet, but he's going a different starter than what most people seem to be thinking is the quote unquote meta starter right now for ADC. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think he doesn't really need the death. So considering that his one already gives him a lot of good sustain with his HP when it comes to the physical lifesteal, I think he can get away with having Leather Cowl in this regard.
You think?
I do believe so. And then Chiron, though, also going a different start than what we're normally accustomed to, would be the Bluestone and to the Transcendent start.
Well, I think that's more standard for Chiron. He's more of an ability-based hunter. That's what everybody sees him as, more of an ability base. So getting Transcendence, that flat pen item, whether it be, Crusher, Jotuns, Brawlers, if he thinks he needs the anti-heal, which based on the red team's comp, I don't think they will.
Oh,
That
they
seems to be
definitely won't.
more of a standard build for Chiron.
Now, question is, do you think he's gonna build a Hydras in this build and try to go
He
for a one-shot build?
He shouldn't. He definitely should not. He's got a good team around him to where he doesn't have to build one shot, and where his job should just be just pump out as much damage as he can instead of trying to build Hydras and die. And oh, there goes first blood.
Oh, early kill in the dual lane. I wonder what
Oh my god,
happened.
what an ult for Peel!
Oh, all right. Thoro comes down to no avail. We also expend the Athena ult. Good Athena ult right there.
That- It looked like it was a 1v1 for a second. I wasn't exactly paying attention to the map state, but it looked like it was a 1v1 and that the Chiron just lost. And I don't know what happened. He lost his beads. Killjoy still has his ultimate, so don't know what happened, but
All right. So, as we see so far, Athena already has the Gauntlet of Thieves bought and in the process of stacking. Both supports stacking their Gauntlet of Thieves. Pretty standard build so far from the supports in lane.
all right. Well, yeah. Oh, but I see both comps that have double ADC. I know one of them is an ability base and the other is and the other is more of an attack speed, but if either support or solo lane, I'm pretty sure Bologna will just get the Shoguns anyway, but if Kepri doesn't get, or if Athena doesn't get Shoguns, she's trolling, in my opinion. That's my opinion. And oh
Oh,
my
and
god,
another solo
that's a
kill by
solo.
Killjoy. What is happening over
Solo.
there? All right, I think Omni, yes, Omnibase in this case is gonna have to reconsider his game plan right now. I think he's gonna have to step back on the base on the terms of aggression. I think he's gonna have to stick more to maybe sitting on the tower and farming up a little bit more before he can take another 1v1 like that.
You know Killjoy's feeling good right now. He's a good ADC player and one to be reckoned with, and he's showing the league exactly why right now. And it's
Yep.
good. It's also good for the Thanatos because now he doesn't have to worry much about the left side of the map because he knows Kerninos will be just fine. He's got about a level lead now, so now he can focus more on the right side. The right side of the map, I think, has more of the jungle farm for him. And he can also keep this. He can also keep
Mm,
Waffmaster in check.
I do agree. If you let Killjoy get ahead and he starts getting comfortable and he starts getting out of hand, it's gonna be really scary in the late game to take him down. He is a really good ADC player. King Arthur
Granted,
though, getting ganked. Almost takes his life though.
yeah, but he doesn't. It does force him to back though. He has TP up in 2 seconds, so he'll just be back and not miss that much of a wave, so he'll be all right. My concern is this mid lane and how the mid lane is going to be played.
I
You
do
have
agree.
Medusa into a AMC. I'm not sure who wins that. I want to say AMC wins that still, at least early game, until Medusa gets, her attack speed items online. Well, depending on how she builds right now, she's looks like she's going to go for that more standard attack speed. Bops, really good playing both the backline roles, so he's good in. Oh no,
Oh,
perfect.
okay. A little sneaky play there by Killjoy.
Yeah, Kill,
Oh,
yeah, Killjoy's not gonna let Omni Based have any fun in this lane. You're gonna need to send at least 3 people, in my opinion, to at least shut him down. And you need to shut him down fast because this will be a very out of haste game for Red Team if they let him continue to do this.
yes, I do agree. And you have a really good three-man gang potential. And dash in by the Cerninos. Good dash by the Chiron to relieve some pressure in this lane.
Yeah,
Back to what I
absolutely.
was previously saying, though. Regarding
Yep.
this three-main gang potential, though, we do have the Thor, and we also have the Khepri. So if Khepri ever gets a root and a one-in, and then they just have the follow-up with the Thor ult, that is a free kill, though.
Yeah, you say that, but that's not that simple because Kerninos, you gotta get someone's gotta get his actives before anything like that happens. The Thor ult might be able to get it. Anvil of Dawn obviously good at getting beads, if not just outright stunning them. But I think Omnibase just needs to take a second, find some farm. He's now skyrocketing into about 2 levels. I think it's more like a level and a half than it is a full 2 levels, but still, you can already see that discrepancy happening.
Surprisingly though, this regarding this level lead, in terms of gold, they're pretty much almost the same. Red team only has about a 500 gold lead.
Yeah, and I think that's more of Waffmaster doing but the job that Bologna should be doing in solo lane. That's just keeping pressure, and I think most of that is honestly Totemaku. But
Yeah,
it's gonna be through levels mostly, but red does have that XP advantage. King Arthur just ticked over to 11, so I'd say he's about half a level down on Bologna. Shouldn't be that much now once he solos his blue. Thanatos got about a level lead, mid's even, and dual lane's got a combined of 2 levels. So dual lane's mostly where the pressure is at. If Waffmaster can slow the game down herself, as we see they go for Pyromancer. This is a great
a
way to.
sneaky early pyro play.
They don't
Oh,
know.
but they are showing Siren now. AMC Bologna's in the back line, causing a big
Yuna's
disruption
in the air.
and big ult.
They
Oh,
secured it, but
there's
at
a
what
huge
cost?
brawl. Spooky Mars gets a double kill off of that pyro.
Oh,
Killjoy just soloing Omni for the third time.
but hey, on the bright side, well, I'll talk about that Pyro pull in a minute. But on the bright side, he's only a level down. He got Killjoy that low, and he only has an item. Kerninos is about an item and a half over him. With Chiron didn't have Crusher. Omnibase did not have Crusher during that fight, and he got Chiron and he got Killjoy to that low. So there is a silver lining. He can kill
Oh,
Killjoy given enough time.
and they do get the Gold Fury. I do agree with you. I think he probably must have landed his entire kit and almost just barely killed. but died during his ultimate and did not get the passive for it.
Yes, now, unfortunately, that gold lead we talked about, that it looked like it wasn't gonna go anywhere. The blue
2,000
team
gold
did.
lead.
Yeah, you see that little spike right there. That's where they got Pyromancer, and then they got three people died for it. So unfortunately, it went back down, and then obviously red team got Gold Fury below my last right afterwards. So the gold lead's gonna start spiraling down. It's about 2K now.
Oh, but almost 4 people in this left lane here. I almost thought there was going to be a gank on this Cerninos, but they do have that all fully warded in the left jungle, I mean.
So good. Bless me. I'm sorry. I've been
Sorry
sick
about
this
that.
past week, so if I sneeze or cough, that's on me.
Oh, it's good. All right. So, in terms of player damage right now,
Oh
this
no.
Thor
Oh
hasn't been
no.
very
I've
active so
just seen it.
far.
I've just seen it. I wasn't
Uh,
looking at it, and now you've talked. Listen. It's only the early game. I think it's just his job to just farm. I think it's here we go.
see,
Say
what did I tell you?
that's a
That
good
one
use of
came
his.
in.
That's a good use of that. It's a good way. It's a good get out of jail free card for him. But back to Thor. He's just farming. He's got Eye of the Jungle. He's got 2 of his flat pen items on him. He might go Hydras here. There's no reason to go. I think it's too late to go Transcendence in his build. I think it's too early to go Heartseeker in his build. So I think he's going for a Hydras. He should be able to hit harder now. And I honestly think he's just stalling out the Thanatos early game, because Thanatos has been pretty non-existent in this game, and
Oh, I mean, I think we might have some action in left lane though here. I don't think he knows.
Oh no, he
Oh,
definitely knows.
big dash.
He definitely knows.
Uh-oh, and
Oh
oh
no!
no.
I just had to say
Oh,
something. I just
and
had
that
to
is
open my mouth.
Omnibase gone again.
You
And
want
I
that,
think
Jeffrey?
oh, and then Duo Lane does need a lot of help from the store right now.
I do.
It is
I
not
do.
looking good.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
no,
no!
don't do
It's
it.
not the right call.
He could.
Oh
Oh
no!
no. Oh no.
All right, on the bright side, he did just quadruple his player damage, so now we don't have to talk about it anymore.
That is true. He's finally above Kepri in terms of player damage. That is good.
So,
But
uh, I don't like that call. I don't like Thor going in, especially into 4 of them like that. But at the same time, all they lose is a T1. There's not that many neutral objectives up right now. Pyro and Gold Fury both being down right now, so that's not really all they get. However, that does not help their gold lead, their gold deficit in the slightest. And now they're really gonna have to rely on Waff Master on her Bologna. She still has about half a level on King Arthur, which is good, but she's gonna need to start rotating, or something has to happen in solo lane in order for blue team to get back into this game, in my opinion.
I honestly believe that Omnibase should just start freezing wave and just force Killjoy into an uncomfortable position where he has to push up farther than he's normally accustomed to, and that way they can get an actual gank on him. Because we really need to shut down this level 15 Cern. He may look like he doesn't do a lot of damage, but he does. He's got fully stacked Devos, and Devos right now with the penetration is really good. And on top of that, we also have the Exy and the Kins for all the tank shredders out there.
Killjoy is not the only one they need to worry about. Spooky Mars on this AMC 3-0-2, got a level lead on this Medusa, so it's gonna be pick a target. If I'm the blue team, I'm going, all right, Lona, Thor, pick a target, pick one of the carries. We gotta just all in them. If we trade our lives for it, it's a better bonus for us, especially if we 1-for-1 here. That being
But
said, they're gonna start the
for a
gold tree
Pyro
again.
again.
Or
Oh,
Pyromancer. Man, I can't speak
and
today.
Athena doesn't see it happening.
Wards win
And
games.
they
Wards win
just get
games.
it. They just get it for
Stand,
free.
stand in the air and duo lane.
Oh no.
They're gonna just
Not
continue
even
to do,
safe in your own tower, he
and
says.
they should go for this AMC here. AMC should die to.
Good Athena
Nope,
ult
it should,
gets
but
out.
that's a great Athena ult to get out, and it's onto Spooky Mars, which keeps
Oh,
him alive. The collapse onto Thor in
oh,
the dual lane.
the
Great
level
hammer to get him out.
17 Cern showing face.
They gotta leave.
The Gold Fury is up though, so they could start at any point. They are forced to back,
They
and it
could.
looks like
Red
they
team
are.
could look fire as well.
No, they're just gonna go straight for Oni Fury, get that pressure going with these Oni waves, and then head straight for Fire Giant. In this regard,
I do think that's a better call. But that's just saying they could have went for fire there. They wouldn't have known if they get rid of that ward that blue team has on fire. They could have easily snuck that fire giant.
so I want to ask you a question.
Ask
Normally,
away.
when you play Thor, is Eye of the Jungle something that you normally get?
I'm not the correct person to be asking that. I'm personally Sentinel's Gift or Mask is the best start on Thor. As a support player, definitely Lono's Mask.
Definitely, I do agree with that one at least. Lola's Mask with the rework, insanely great item. It just makes you so tanky whenever you have the full stacks on it, especially with all that prot that you're getting from it.
Now
But
hear me out. They
Mhm.
they do it again, except this time.
oh,
Big dunk.
big kill, big kill. They really needed that kill.
That is a much needed kill, and it goes on to Bops. That's who it really needed to go on as she gets a level there. Catches up to Spooky on the AMC there. It's only about now like a quarter of a level, I think, if I'm thinking correctly. So, and they could get a lot of pressure off this mid wave, get mid tower, and clear that mid trebuchet that they pushed up.
I do agree with that as well. I think Thanatos might try something here. No, he sees it, but
No.
he's just gonna let it go.
Don't do it. I see he's still hovering. He
But
wants to so bad.
Dual lane's
Wait, they're
coming in
they're
hot.
gonna wait on the
Big-
collapse. Yeah, they're gonna
they're
wait
just
on the collapse.
initiating.
Definitely, it
Nothing.
got Bob's beads, but here we go. The
Oh
collapse on the
no.
Kerneros. Oh, he's gonna hurt. Oh, he used his
Oh,
hammer. He can't get
he's just
away.
gone. Goodbye, HP bar. And so long, Kepri. You're joining him too, he says.
Oh no.
Oh man, the level 18 Cerninos, he is very massive. 5-0 and 4. He also has the Odibo finally finished. I think they're just gonna get this fire giant for free
Okay.
now.
Okay, that play shouldn't have happened. They should have taken the AMC pick. They saw the Thanatos on the ward, by the way. They did have that warded before the ward just went away. They should have just left. The tower was being a bit greedy, and now they lose a fire
Oh
giant
no.
because of Medusa. What are
No.
you doing?
Oh. Sometimes I guess she just couldn't get out in time. Bologna, that is not your blue buff anymore. Now they're just gonna start. I think the best play right now would be to just swipe towers here, get the gold back, finish your items, and then go again.
Absolutely, and there's nothing that the blue team can really do about it right now. They just
They
have to
just
kind of let these towers go. Unfortunately, that's not going to help their gold lead as it's now about 9k. Will be closer to 10 or 11k once all these towers are gone. If red team so choose to strip the towers this back, they can always just back now and get the rest of the towers after they spend the current gold that they have right now.
now, if we're looking at player damage right now, I think we all know who the issue is here, and it's like I've been saying all day long. It's Killjoy. He's just outperforming and he's just excelling right now in this damage.
Absolutely. He's yet to die 5-0 and 5, obviously. He's just been able to free farm and is level 20 as we speak. So
Oh,
Thana's in the
Thanatos
air.
ult.
No, they got back to Phoenix line way too fast there for him. So luckily for them, no dive engage on Phoenix. But they are gonna be down. What is it, 10k now? So it's kind of rough to come back from this point, but that's not saying the game is over yet. The game's not over until the Titan is dead. You can always maybe get a lucky pick. Maybe red team plays a fight that they shouldn't have. But in my opinion, it's going to be a hard one to come out. It's going to be hard to come back from this. We shouldn't even be thinking about fighting if I'm blue team. I shouldn't even be thinking about fighting at least until at least both backliners are level 20. Bologna's close with Waffmaster being close to level 20. But no thoughts should be no thoughts of fighting should be coming up. I'm not even stepping up past my buff lines if I'm the in the blue team situation here.
I do agree with you. I think right now they just need to farm any farm that they can on the map. They just need to scramble for any available farm. And they also do need to get their support, who is in desperate need of XP, to a healthier level. Because right now, this Khepri at level 13 is not really surviving much. He is
He's getting
gone.
shredded. He's just
He
getting
is.
shredded. Yeah.
Oh, but we do see Bologna coming in right now, and that is a big Thoro, big Medusa coming in, and it's just not enough.
Fortunately, I think that's just where the level discrepancy comes in. I think if they're all the same level, they at least get one, maybe two kills there in like AMC on Spooky and Dash. But you see
Wait for it,
Thanatos
big
in the back.
Thanatos, and they're just re-engaging again. Big Thanatos coming in, big execute. They're just going in, big. Oh my goodness! But it's just Killjoy, and then it's Athena. They're just all doing so well right now.
That's the end of the game too.
It is game.
5-0. That's the end of the game. That's just what happens when you let a lead get too far.
And Killjoy 7-0-8 on this CERN. Dominating performance in the ADC lane. He just was never focused on in this team fight.
Yeah, man, that's just a good clean win from red team there. Now, I do have a couple of concerns there. When your Bologna is absolutely just dominating the solo lane the way she was, and that's not even saying like because most people don't look at solo lane like that, but she was absolutely out pressuring that King Arthur all game. If you're not playing through that, especially when your ADC is behind the way he was, you have to play through that solo lane. Either that or, in my opinion, Waffmaster has to rotate early. Maybe get some type of pick. Maybe an early rotation, level 13, 14. Try and get this kill on Spooky Mars earlier than how he actually just got to free farm that game. But
I do
all around
agree
good
with you.
all around good play from red team. Only one death from Spooky Mars. Spooky, I know you're listening to this. You're old, you're washed. You're only death on the team. All right, that's enough BM for me.
All right, I think we're just gonna have to all spam report and hope he gets banned for the next game. Then, honestly, if he's gonna be the only one ending there. But I do agree with you on those points that you mentioned. I think maybe have Ninja swap over to a another jungler, maybe one that he's more comfortable with. I would like to see him just be more active in the early game. We didn't really get to see a lot of him. There were also a lot of questionable plays that he made. I'm sure he's going to review those over for the next game and just reset completely. And hopefully we get a game 3 on our hands here.
I do hope so too. I like these game 3 situations if they can get him there. Maybe they look for a different draft, like you said. Maybe they put him on a different jungler like Thor, and maybe put the Thor in solo lane next time. I've seen like the Waffmaster did a pretty good job on that Bologna, so can't do much worse on Thor, right?
Nope, I can't disagree with you there. I think Thor is also pretty strong in the solo lane with all these new buffs coming in, like you mentioned previously as well. The 2 getting that small damage increase with the recent patch, and Thor is just so much presence in the game overall with that basically global ult. He can just get in the backline for free, deal his damage, and then get out, and he's good to go. It's hard to really beat that.
Absolutely, and I hope to see. We hope we see something different, maybe something spicy from the teams here. Seeing how game 1 went really well for one team and really bad for the other. You think something's gonna change here, right?
I do agree. I think they should also look at some of these bans, see see if they can also just ban some of these gods that they did not have fun playing against. I think this Terninos was a really big issue on this team. It just snowballed, honestly.
Absolutely.
Mm. So in terms of
And,
King Arthur
and
here,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
there was no earrings built.
Who needs earrings?
Earrings are such a great item.
Who needs
Even
earrings?
even with the nerfs that have come with it. Like, we're talking here about the Manticore spikes.
Manicore spikes aren't needed on King Arthur. Come on now.
But he has so many forms of CC that can proc it. I just don't agree why
Do
he
you
wouldn't build it.
Did you see that, King Arthur? Did he think he needed? Do you think he needed Manticore spikes? Absolutely not.
I think he did need it. He was running out of mana quite several times in lane because he built Genji's guard so late.
No, you're crazy. Manticore spikes is a support only item. I'm pretty sure Camazotz was taken had told him that because that's what I would tell everybody as well. It's a support only item. Stop taking my item. It is for me and me alone.
All right, I think you might have to start sharing the wealth over here. It's such a great item overall. Like, I understand that supports have some of the best CCs in the game, but warriors can also get some love with the item too.
Absolutely not. What's mine is mine, and what's mine is not solos.
What is it with everybody just hating on solo these days?
It's nothing against solos. I just need you to stop running at me. That's all. I need you to stop running at my backline. I'm trying to keep them alive. That's all.
It's our job. We go back and forth. 80 season solos. It's the long and foretold battle between the two, where one's gonna be super aggressive early, one's gonna be super dominant late game. It's a battle to see which one will stop who first.
And I'm just gonna have you accept the fact that you're not killing them because I'm going to CC you while my backliners just rail you with auto attacks.
It is not fun being a solo main myself. It is very not fun to be on the receiving end of a bunch of autos being hit at me. All my prot shredded, being CC chained for 5 entire seconds. It's just the worst thing ever. I'm gonna just No, I just need you to not CC me. I'm trying to get in that backline, trying to disrupt them, have my team kill them, and then I'll be on my way.
But I just want to Capri hug you. You're just so huggable.
Keep those Capri hugs away from me.
Just want to Capri hug all the solo laners, but definitely need the Capri didn't work out for that team that game, so definitely might have to try and find something else out while we wait for them to discuss picks and bans for next game.
Sorry about that. Family is a little bit curious. But where was I before I stopped you?
You were complaining about my hugs. I just want a hug.
Listen, as much as I love me a Capri, I prefer if you hug somebody else whenever you're on my team rather than me, precisely. But here we go. We're picking it up back where we left off, and we're gonna be in the ban phases. In terms of bans, what do you feel like they should ban after seeing how game 1 went?
Honestly, we stay safe in bans. I don't think the bans were the gods were the problems. I feel like it was more of a playstyle issue. I feel like we were being a bit too passive on the early game, and we needed to force some things before things got out of hand. And then once they do get out of hand, it's more of a well, not out of hand. Once they do get a lead, it's more of a how do we slow it down? How do we slow down the game? Those two pyro calls that they got, those are exactly how you do that. But you have to answer with more. Just getting two pyromancers and letting the enemy team get 16 kills to 1 is not how you answer that completely. But we'll see how they do with picks and bans.
I can't say better myself. Honestly, I'm hoping that they bring something with a little bit more aggression, and if they can't do that, maybe they should just try a more counter punch style of comp where they'll let them aggress first, and then they can just take advantage and punish them for their aggressiveness, to say the least.
Absolutely. But
So
we
far,
will see. We'll see what we get here in terms of bans. It looks like it's going to be a Ymir and Kali for the first ban. Skills, a really good Kali player. I will admit to that myself. So that is most definitely something that you just got to take off the table right away. Followed by Guan Yu and Daji for both teams getting second bans here.
80's also banned. So far, we're seeing a lot of very big team fight ults and team fight characters being banned on the side of Hanford Hairnets. What does that tell you about how they feel about these certain gods and about the team fight phase.
That they can't play into them.
That's-
I'm sorry. I hate saying that. I hate being brutally honest, but that just sounds like they can't play into it.
it-
Granted, Guan Yu has been a good pick. Hades, great meta pick, but I do believe there are some counters to it. But don't want to see it in their
My
games. It's
victory
completely
shall be
respectable.
sweeter
But
than
if I'm the
honey.
Mind Goblins, I'm banning. I'm not banning the Kepri that game. I'm definitely banning the AMC. And now you see the Hereford Hornets definitely gonna run that AMC back, and that's a great top pick from them.
I do agree. I think that it's just going to provide the same thing that it provided in the last game. It's just going to be a lot of slows, a lot of bees being spread to everybody, and that stinger that is just going to completely ruin any support's day whenever they just lock on to you.
Absolutely. Now that does still leave the Mind Goblins with a good
I am the terror
couple
of the
good picks.
depths.
Charybdis being one of I was gonna say, getting locked in. Still have good Chiron. I wouldn't be mad at you running the Chiron back, but putting him in mid this time, where I think he has the better matchup into the Hunter this time. Set also seemingly being a good matchup in the ADC, just because it kind of
I
alleviates
will
that
leave
pressure that
standing
AMC just
no
gets early.
barrier to our
Ganesha,
success.
not what I was thinking, if I'm being honest. Ganesha.
I do like where this is going. I think that Ganesha will bring a
With
lot
me
in
you
terms of these team
all
fights
shall
with the knockup and the
flourish and
silence.
prosper.
Ohm is such a great ability to just shut down a lot of players here.
Death awaits.
It is. It's a great way to shut down players' abilities, but hear me out. I'm looking at the Hereford Hornets top 3, which is basically a salty run back of game 1. Home is not gonna stop Kerninos and AMC from just railing you with auto attacks. Nor is Thanatos if he runs that Mannequin Scepter back, which I believe he did game 1.
So we're swapping off of the Thor and picking up the Rat here. Rat having kind of a similar kit to Thor. Do you think that maybe the Rat will change the early game for the Mind Goblins here?
Not with their top 3. Their top 3 is definitely, compared to the Hanford Hornets top 3, is definitely hey, we're just gonna sit here, we're gonna farm for the early game, maybe try and play a mid game. Get us a good pick, get us a good gold lead if we can. If not, I think the Mind Goblins, if the gold deficit isn't 1,500, 2K gold at say the 12, 13 minute mark, I think the Mind Goblins are in a good state, but definitely not an early game team, not compared to AMC, Kerninos, Thanatos, who those 3 really ran the early game, the early to mid game for game 1. So, talking about bans here, you want to go ahead and do that for me?
Of course, Nezha and Cupid being banned on the side of the Hanford Hornets. Nezha being really good, surprisingly, in this meta, with just the buffs to recent items as well as, of course, just Nezha with the recent
Argus,
changes as
to
well.
my side.
Cupid, Heartfield, Heart Bomb. It's just a really good team fight. They just don't want to deal with the root. Xintian and Athena, they learned their lesson from the Athena last game, though. So at least that's one follow-up that they won't have to deal with.
Yeah, now they picked the Hera. Definitely not the safest of choices that I would have picked, but you leave her alone for too long, and Argus will do a lot of damage here. I kind of can't wait to see what the Hanford Hornets pick to counter that. Yeah, obviously, you'd see that the Mind Golems didn't hold their solo laner, or maybe that Rat's going solo for the last pick
Me
to see what the
booty is the
Hanford
best
Hornets go.
booty.
Sobek. That's spicy. I do like me some Sobek gameplay.
You know what's weird? I had said yesterday, I was playing ranked yesterday, and I was support, and I had said I should play Sobek here, but then I ended up picking Ymir, and then I was like, when is Sobek gonna get played? Because I haven't seen that
Where are you
crocodile in so
going?
long. And now it's answered. It's right here.
I do agree. I think Sobek is basically about as the same as Athena, except a little bit more unsafer. If you hit your pluck, you're feeling like you're on top of the world. If you miss your pluck, you better have that ult up, or else you're just gonna be dead in front of 5 people.
They, the Hanford Hornets do pick the Cucullin here instead of going with the Bologna pick that they did last time. The Bologna didn't get banned away. Wasps is just, or not Wasps, Bash is just looking to play something else.
Uh, well, I can see a reason why he's gonna play. He just wants some early aggression here.
For
Kukulin
Camelot!
also really
For
good
Avalon!
at level 1. Once he just goes into Berserk mode, he just clears the wave pretty freely. Also has that mystical male aura as well to apply to his rage. I think it's gonna be pretty good for him early in game.
Absolutely. And now, obviously, the King Arthur getting picked up by Waffs. Waff said, I'm going to show you how to play King Arthur. I'm going to show you how to play it right. So maybe we see early rotations from the King Arthur like we didn't see from the Bologna game. Maybe to help them with their rotations, with their early to mid game, just not being too far behind. Now, like I said before, I think if the Mind Goblins, can just play a little passive, obviously look for kills and look for picks, but you're not gonna find them too easy, at least not through the early game if the Hanford Hairnets play this right. If the if the Mind Goblins can, like I said, play and not be down, I'd say 1,500 gold at like the 12-13 minute mark. I think they have a fair shot to win this game.
I do
That
agree
being
with you.
that being said, the Hereford Hornets pressure. That comp just screams pressure. That comp screams, we're going to run down your throats until it stops working,
Yep, they
which
just have
makes sense.
they have great objective burn with double ADC comps, no tower, no gold fury, and no fire giant will stand in its way for very long.
Absolutely. And the Sobek, I'm actually really excited to see the Sobek play because if he gets plucked, Stinger dead.
Yep.
End of
So
conversation.
hopefully, when it comes to the early game, I really hope that this rat focuses on the solo lane, because considering the actually wait, I have it mixed up. I thought rat was on the other team. But either way, I think that the rat should be focusing on the solo lane, considering it's King Arthur. I think King Arthur into Kukulin, a legendary matchup. It's been around for so long. We all know how that lane is going to go. It's going to be kind of a snooze fest. But hopefully, with the rat coming in, applying that early pressure, gets that King Arthur head, because Waffmaster was the only one showing face, and if they just focus through him, I'm pretty sure you can just hard carry the entire game.
Absolutely. I feel like Waffmaster needs to be that center point of the team here. The goal should be, hey, if Waffmaster can have the game like he did last game, he should be our win condition. He should be the one we should be playing through. He should be the one calling all the shots here, telling us when to go in, when to go out. So can't wait to see what they say here.
All right. Perfect. And starting here at our usual starts, we have ADC and support starting at green, accompanied
You
with
spoke it
the
into
usual red start.
existence. You spoke it into existence. As King Arthur's going in Manticore spikes now.
I told you, it's a great item. A lot of CCs to proc the Manicore Spikes, and the passive on it is amazing, doing a lot more damage based on procs to their HP.
No, go away with that. What is mine, and what's mine is not solos. Go away with that.
Now, this King Arthur is going to stay in this lane for quite some time. Health Chalice plus 2 health pots. I don't think he's ever going to need to back early here in this situation.
If he doesn't get his blue buff invaded, then yes. If he
But
does,
speaking...
speaking of what? Ooh.
Oh, wait a minute. He hits level 2 first. I honestly thought that the Kukulin would have actually gone to killing King Arthur first.
Yeah, that's Arthur way clear.
Now, I'm glad to see that the rat actually did get a little bit more active here in the solo lane, just like I mentioned previously. He wasn't afraid to 1v1 that Thanatos, even with a mannequins on him.
Definitely showing no fear. I think them being down 0-1 is also kind of motivating that a little bit. Gotta make a play. That being said, don't want to try and play hero ball too early. We're still, a minute 30 into this game, so too early to just play hero ball just yet. But I do like the aggression. I do like the fact that he's playing head on.
I can agree as well. Seeing as they're down 0, maybe those like pressures of the first game just dissipate, and they're like, oh man, maybe we just have to win this first game. And I guess those jitters are gone now, and now they can just play more loosely, more comfortably here.
I mean, game one jitters do happen. It might have been they were just nervous. Like I said, first set of the season. You don't want to go in like you want to go in full force, but at the same time, nerves can happen, pre-show jitters can happen. S- it's just one of those things where you have to calm down after losing a game like that, able to just calm down and say, "Okay, okay, we're okay. Let's just play our game. Let's play comfortable, play normal. We'll be fine."
All right, seeing these builds right now, everything's looking pretty standard as well. We have ADCs going the standard Death Soul into Death Gaunt build.
I can what's a little bit different with me, well, at least what seems weird for me is the support's going Sentinels instead of Benevolence. I've seen more Benevolence recently, but both supports have started Sentinel both game. Is that normal for me? Because I'm still more of a Benevolence guy.
So, in terms of which god should be using benevolence, I do agree that Ganesha is more of a benevolence god in that regard. I think he works better with the benevolence passive than Sentinel's passive. But Sobek on Sentinels, I think that's pretty standard.
Hmm. Well, I haven't seen Sobek enough in these past few patches to see it as ooh, both solo
So
laners are low.
they are scrapping it out. They have no fear.
No, don't back up. I want to see the fight. You gotta mutually agree to just fight till you die. That's
Now, looking over at dual lane, though, there is some pressure on this purple buff. Both lanes have been getting pretty active in opposite sides. Dual lane supports were getting low, and also in solo lane.
definitely a more active early game, and
Ooh,
as King
that is
Arthur missed Excalibur's Might. I think that's what his ultimate's called.
it's rather unfortunate. That could have been a really good early first pick in this lane, honestly.
Definitely, especially with Kakula not having beads and taking teleport, he would have taken all of that damage and would have probably died for it.
But I think Rat might get
This
active
is
here
what I
as
was
well.
concerned about. This is what
Uh-oh.
I was scared about. Sobek
Oh no.
pluck into just all the follow-up. As long as Sobek has follow-up, as long as Camazotz was taken, just calls the target, "Hey, I'm plucking at this time," and he has follow-up, it could be a very scary time.
Good damage from Rat, even with just a fully bought Acorn here. I think that's the Thistlethorn Acorn.
Most most definitely, and Rat gonna go for the blue buff invade as well as his forces and his forced skills to just back up and go for his blue buff instead. Now he's looking to gank the Cucullin here. Might be a first blood here if skills doesn't get here in time. But no, Bash does see it out. Does
And
back up.
that is the worst feeling to just see is your blue buff being invaded. I can't tell how many times I've been frustrated whenever my blue buff gets invaded, and I'm just telling my jungle, "Hey man, be at my blue buff next time. I really need it. I don't want to back to go."
I can't tell you how many times I've been forcefully stuck in solo lane and sucked and just said pick Cucullin and said, "Alright, I'm okay. My blue buff's fine. I'm Cucullin. I don't need it."
So, King Arthur choosing to not build this earring here for
Yes.
Manicore, instead just goes into the shield. What
Yes,
do
he
you?
lis he listened to me. He listened to what I said and said, "Don't," decided to not build it. But no, that's typically a normal King Arthur, that's typically a normal King Arthur build. You get T1 of the earring, and you go and you finish your Glad Shield, and then you might go off and finish that earring second, but that's just for health and for some prots, I believe. That's what the tier 1 earring.
See, normally I've only seen this start on tier. I don't put. I haven't seen a lot of King Arthur recently in my games, at least. So I've only ever seen it on tier. Well, because of the Giga Chat and Self Death Walker, who basically pioneered that start. So seeing it on other warriors like the King Arthur, it's fairly new to me. And now here they're just gonna cancel each other's backs and be a little bit rude to each other about that. Normally we have a gentleman's agreement to let each other back.
Why gentleman's agreement? There's no such thing as a gentleman's agreement there.
Hmm.
Junglers are hovering this right jungle, though. It looks like Rat and Thanatos are getting into it right now.
Ooh, big, good ult
He's
from the
gonna
rat to
he's gonna
negate the
ult
stun.
no, he's gotta leave. Cucullin's there as well. He's gotta just leave and accept his loss there. I feel like if if Bash doesn't show up there, that he takes that fight, and it's a good fight to take as well, in my opinion. But the rotations were there, so just better to call it, take ult for ult, blue buff for blue buff, and continue on with your day.
It was a good awareness from red team to send people over to the blue buff in case they did decide to invade this blue buff as well.
Now keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that gold lead that red team has. I did say that if they can keep it even within the first 12, 13-ish minutes, then they have a good shot at winning this game. And so far, they've done that. Gold lead 300, 400 maybe in blue team's favor, but that's about it.
So one thing I'm noticing here on the map is I don't really see any red wards until just now, where one was placed in mid. But throughout the entire map, there's just blue wards lighting up the map.
Wards will win you games. Wards win you a lot of games. At least they're especially early here. They know where everybody is on the map from the red side. They know when they're possibly getting invaded, when they're going for their buffs and their objectives. So that's good on them. Red team, obviously no slouches either. They're putting words on the map as well, but
Thanatos here, just sneakily taking this rat's poor speed buff. As a jungler, you just have to feel devastated not being able to move fast at all.
a duo gank.
Oh, good.
It would be
Now
a shame.
Oh, come on, just one more auto, please.
Oh, he's so low.
One more auto. Oh,
Get him.
come on, get him, come on.
Oh,
There
got
we
him.
go. He got it. Oh, big Thanatos ult to come back. Oh,
Big
wait,
stun.
they actually might
Big
turn this
stun.
around. What did I tell you about the Ohm? What did I tell you about this Ohm?
And that's what you get for stealing my speed buff, Rat says.
And now we're going to take your purple on top of that. Rat needs to be careful here. He actually might die. Ooh, but
he used
Killjoy
his
actually caught a little bit of
dash.
position. Oh, just
Rat's
there's
in the
just
air.
action all over the map.
Rat's in the air. If Ganesha
can't.
takes this, he might be able to
Surely
kill him.
not.
He's gonna go in anyway.
Oh, no. Maybe there was just some slight miscommunication on both of them. Maybe he thought he was actually just going to tank it. Turns out he didn't. And should have just got out.
I think Blizzado just needs to tank that tower just a little bit. I think if Rat doesn't take that tower shot, he has a good shot of killing him, especially if he hits that acorn stun. Now that being said, the Killjoy's staying, and Omni-based is not only keeping up, but ahead now, which is the complete opposite of what we saw in game 2 or game 1.
And just the Sobek just pestering this poor Charybdis as she's just trying to get out of his face. He doesn't want to do anything with that Sobek.
As supports do. We're here to be a nuisance to the enemy.
So let's talk about what happened in mid just a second ago. Spooky Moore is soloing the Hera. So not even a fully stacked trans on top of that. Just AMC just doing AMC things, I guess.
Yeah, at the same time, Hera didn't have her Book of the Did I almost call it Book of the Dead?
I think you almost did call it Book of the Dead.
No, I
here.
didn't. No. I called it Book of Thoth. I said it correct the first time. And AMC as we got a skirmish going on in the right jungle. What's going on over there?
Oh, and there he is, the 6th player on the team chasing down the AMC. But Hera is just so low. I think it's just a wrap for Hera here.
Oh, she got
surely to get this kill back. There it is.
Absolutely.
The King Arthur getting
the rotation, the early rotation, like I'm calling. Oh, you got to hit that dash.
It is an arena fest right now, and I think Rat's just gonna follow suit.
Okay, well that happened.
This is what I love to see. I love to see these mid lane skirmishes, just to see who's really just dominating so far. And it looks like
if I'm the blue team, I love that fight. But if I'm the red team, I don't hate that fight. That's not a bad fight to take. Unfortunately, it doesn't go your way. Yes, but there's some silver linings that can be drawn there, and that is you're active in your jungle. You're taking these fights that in my thoughts, you should just be losing horrendously, but you're winning. As now Charybdis is getting ganked, has to use her ultimate to get out.
Saves the beads. I probably would have just used my beads there just in case and just saved the ultimate. The ultimate on a longer is on the shorter cooldown, but To each their own, I believe.
Yeah, I much more prefer using the ult there. Like you said, less cooldown than beads, so it's obviously gonna be okay. But that is gonna give the blue team, they think, enough pressure to take this Gold Fury, and like the double ADC, they shred it.
So
They
close
do
with the two, though. It was a good
they do
attempt.
manage to secure it. It was a very good attempt. I don't think you could have gotten any closer than that.
Now, seeing here, Curtis is opting to go into crit.
I do think you can go either or in this meta now with ADCs. You can go the full pen build, or you can go crit with the Shadow Steel Wind Demon. So either one works.
Whenever I've played ADC, I've rarely seen crit. I feel like crit has fallen out of the meta a little bit. Maybe it's coming a little back, and I'm just not caught up.
Well,
But
that,
nobody.
sir, is because you're not good. Get good, scrub.
I'm a solo laner. What can I say? I'm not gonna be well informed about these ADC builds. I hate them. I don't want to play them. But in terms of that, no, most of the times I've been playing, I've been getting hit with all the pen builds. You know, Kins, Xe, Silver Branch, you name it. I'm just gonna get all my prots and my health just shredded.
Now, there's one thing I want to point out here as blue team is going for the Pyromancer here. It looks like the red team doesn't know. Rat
Rats
just
coming
stepped.
in.
He just stepped up to make the call to his team, but they didn't know.
Oh,
Blue team do secure it. Up down by Thanatos misses, and it looks like that might be a disengaged call as Argus is player 6 is dropped.
oh, but I think Rat might have some trouble here. In terms of level, though, Rat's kind of falling behind a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think Rat's been looking more for ganks than he has been just farming objectives, farming his back camps. Obviously, getting his speed invaded one time that early game didn't help either, but I think they're doing all right. It's about a 2K gold lead for blue team, which is where I figured they would be at around this time. So it's not the end of the world. Charybdis is up. Omnibase has about half a level on Carnos, maybe about a quarter since Killjoy just hit 14 there. But they are doing better. I will
Something that
say
is.
though,
Go
I
ahead.
will say though, looking at the player damage chart, Charybdis is top as the beats is forced.
Oh, good Ganesh coming in.
Oh,
Misses the
oh,
Maw. There's the Ohm.
it's okay. It's okay. We're okay here.
They shell. Oh my! It's.
Wow.
I don't know where that team fight went bad. I was certain that they would have actually killed the CERN here.
I thought so too. I was silent for a moment because I was just my jaw had dropped in awe at how the Cardinals won that fight. But now we're at that point where the c- where Killjoy can get ahead now that Omnibase is on the gray screen. Is the Thanatos ulted in on Rat. Rat had to press 4 and is out now. But what I
Yeah.
was gonna say was before that whole altercation happened is, oh, here comes
Oh, here we go
Go
again.
off,
Guess we're gonna have
monster.
to hold it.
Just want to
Uh,
talk, man.
it's just King Arthur. You're never gonna lock him down. He's got like 80,000 movement abilities.
Are you guys gonna are you guys gonna let me talk now? Or are you guys gonna dive the back camps? I can talk? Okay. What I was gonna say was the player damage chart completely different from top and bottom. Again, last game it was the Kern top of the player damage charts. Now it's Charybdis. Kern is still up there, yes, but Thanatos, bottom of the charts.
It appears we've had a little bit of a swap here. Now it's Thanatos here that is just not very active, and Rat on the other hand, getting pretty
Granted,
active.
granted, Ninja's not doing any better. He's only got 3,200 player damage. Only got about 1,000 more than skills, but still, being bottom of the charts is laughable. Skills. You're a season 1 veteran. You should just be better. I'm allowed to I'm
It's
allowed to do this BM because I know them.
well, it certainly beats being at 598 player damage for like 5 minutes at least. So it's a really, really good improvement here. Though I did also want to point out that, maybe some of the damage that's coming out of this crit, this is from this double crit build that they're going here with the Wind Demon and the
Abs-
Shadow Steel Shuriken.
Absolutely. But I think I think the crit build's not gonna do well once it gets Once it gets later in the game in the turn dynamic, Hairnets is gonna die here, right?
Oh, great pick here.
Player 6, go player 6.
Player 6, big and Nashville, they're all locked in inside of it. Had to force the beads out of Thanatos
Huge,
here.
huge
They're just
beads.
still chasing him down. Sobek had to force to use the ult. I think he's just done. Oh, big! I think the AMC is just going to follow suit here. This is just a big turnaround right now compared to what we saw in Game 1 when it came to both of these teams. They're just now dominating these team fight wins with the 6 players showing up.
That fight was all Waff Masters out-rotating Bash there. Just giving them the disadvantage. It's already bad enough that you have a 5v4 with Argus, but a 6v4 because King Arthur rotated earlier, and now Bash is gone. And now the tables have turned.
Honestly, that is a great team fight, and that's exactly what they needed. I'm sure their confidence is just soaring through the roof right now. That's exactly what they needed. After losing that first Gold Fury and that Pyromancer, they're just kicking it back with this Oni Fury, and who knows, maybe soon they'll start looking at this Fire Giant.
This Fire Giant does need to be on the menu for dinner tonight, but not too soon. They can't do it too early, I don't think. It's only 18 minutes. Charybdis does have crit online though. However, I think Red Team want to wait for maybe one more item, one more fight like that before we truly look at Fire Giant.
I am liking this Thanatos build. Normally, I don't see a lot of room for Hammer these days because the item has fallen out of favor a lot. So I like that. Gives him a little bit of tankiness and also just helps with the passive with the CC on his ult whenever he decides to ult him with that Mannequin's Hidden Blade.
There's no way you just told me you like Runeforge Hammer.
I like the item when it was actually a good item. Especially on like Shock. Like Shock with Runeforge. That is
All
a
right, no.
menace.
Oh, end the stream now. He's talking about Runeforge on Chalk. End the stream now.
Hey, I'm just saying, if
Definitely. It looks like red team's hovering around a pyromancer. Blue team is aware of it. Now they actually want to be the ones to start it off. Red
all
team
right.
knows.
Charybdis out here still rocking that over 5,000 damage on Killjoy. I don't know what happened during the intermission, what was said to him, but he's definitely outperforming right now, and he's looking like the better player by a huge margin right now. 3-1-3, that is a good stat line if you're the Charybdis right now.
Question is, can he keep it up once these team fights happen and once it's 5v5? Once you get hit by Thistlebrush like that, and you have to 3 away, that could be a huge confidence shaker, and that allows Hairnets to rotate, get some more farm as red team pulling Pyromancer?
They were
Where
just
did blue team go? Why did
where's
they
the
leave
word? They don't even have any words on it. But I
Okay.
think this Cocolin's just big on. Oh, and on top of the Fire Giant pool. Oh no.
Player 6 missed.
Oh, big blink
But
and
Excalibur's might didn't miss.
oh my god, that Ganesh ultimate follow up was amazing. It literally just landed right on that wall.
That's the
Oh, but
combo.
Killjoy getting the solo kill. Hold up, just when we were just
Slow.
hyping up Omnibase, Killjoy just says y'all should be talking about me.
Thanatos wants some action too. Skill says y'all should be talking about me instead.
Blue team sneaks away the Pyromancer during that entire scuffle.
Red team has to get something out of this. I think, but it doesn't look like they can. Blue team with an excellent disengage after getting Pyromancer with the Sobek ult for the slow. And overall, blue team now has the gold lead again.
Now, something that I do want to point out is this Heartward Amulet pickup by King Arthur. Normally something that we see when they have a very mage-heavy comp. But as far as I can see, the only mage on the team is Sobek.
MP5, more than likely. That MP5 passive is also nice. It also is that rune that he could upgrade into something else.
I can see how that can work. Could there be any other options?
It could be. I don't know those amulets that well because I don't really use Heartward Amulet, but it could be Amulet of the Stronghold he could be going for. I believe that's what it's called. Charybdis, are you okay?
Charybdis is fine.
Did
Full
you
HP,
did
but this
Skills
rattle
did
could be
use
pretty spicy. Oh,
Skills did use
Lance's
Thanatos ult
mark.
Skills did use his ultimate for the Charybdis. Looks like Charybdis just
5-man
goes
grouping.
under the tides, and this is a 5v4. Argus is up, so it's a 5v5
It is
technically, if you want to speak, but
now technically it could be a 6v5, considering that King Arthur has the upgraded blink teleport glyph.
King Arthur will be to that fight in no time. Then it'll be who wants to start the engagement first, and if I'm the blue team, I'm looking for a Sobek pluck just right away.
And just as I said, he's in this fight. It's a 6v5. It's just a matter of who's gonna pull the trigger here. One Sobek pluck can basically make or break this team fight. They need to get on this
Right.
Go Fear fast though.
You can
It's
run it back.
dropping,
What? They got it?
but they're getting more than that. I think they're actually Rat, please somebody get this man some
Holy
help. Oh, Spooky. Spooky does not get out of here. Good ages from
No.
Spooky though. Kills
What?
skills in the background. He's making things happen. King Arthur's just trying to find a target here. Still not finding anything here.
He's out.
It's
Crits go big here?
skills. Double kill for skills right now. Where's the third? Give him the third. Where is it? King Arthur just putting up a fight regardless. He's just in there. He's never gonna leave.
Go back.
And
Look at the health bars. Look at the health bars. They shouldn't be alive right now.
they should not. I don't know what happened. So it was looking so great for them in the at the start of that fight. What went wrong is what
I feel like they were just hitting the wrong people. I don't think there was a called target. 'Cause you saw the fight going just past the Gold Fury pit. Then Rat went on Thanatos. Then Rat went on AMC. Then Rat got stingered and died. Then two other people tried to get on AMC, and AMC got away while everybody else is fighting. So there's just not a one single target called, which I think is what really lost them that fight.
I do agree. I think that in these team fights, I think that Kukulin and Rat should be coordinating who they're going to dive on. So wait for the Kukulin to ult in with his knockup, and then Rat just follows in. He needs to follow up on what Kukulin is doing. But as I say that, they're starting this fire giant here.
If I'm the red team, I think I'm just giving that up. Nobody's really around. Or if
Oh
King Arthur
no.
stalls for long enough, he might be able to just wait for his team. But nope,
This is
just
looking pretty
get
good.
threaded.
I think they just
Now,
get this.
yeah, they should. I feel like this is just a give up call if I'm the red team here. No reason to fight for this. You still
Uh-oh.
have 5 towers on the
Uh-oh.
board. All right,
I
looking
think
to
that
get active.
oh no,
Oh, the rest.
Hera.
Oh,
Argus can't
Argus.
save you now. Oh,
But
big
on the
kill on
same time,
Spooky.
Ninja does get a kill on Spookies. That's one of the primary targets you need to get a kill on. And Omni
But
basically, them crits are
Omnibase in the
working.
background.
Those crits are working. I really think
Deathbringer
those crits.
fully built right now. Those crits do hurt. But
I don't
Ganesh,
think
you
those
gotta
crits will
help
be
him
spreading
here.
this.
He's gonna
Uh-oh.
die.
Those crits
Sorry.
hurt.
They do hurt, and there are no spectrals built on the side of blue team here. But I think Cullen is gonna start building into it, and also Sobek pretty soon here once they get the gold for it.
Dude, that's what they should be going for as well. Oh no, they're not stepping up for this, are they?
Oh no.
Oh no, he's in execute range.
Oh. Curvis, you gotta give this up. You just gotta
No.
no. What are you doing? No, what? You forced
No,
to beat that.
you're
But at what
walking
point?
into his autos.
No,
No.
Look. Oh no, Curvis, please.
He
You have so
missed
much to look
Scythe.
for.
He missed Scythe.
Oh no.
Oh.
Wait, but maybe King Arthur does a hero play here? No, it's just
No,
his.
we're going in one at a time now.
All right. If I don't
This
know
is that
what happened there.
This is that hero ball. This is that hero ball that I said at the beginning of the game that they shouldn't be doing, that they're doing. They're trying to make plays that they don't have to make.
I
Because
do
now it's just
agree.
ending up worse for them.
I think that curve this should have just backed off a long time ago. As soon as they started Pyromancer, you should have just given that up. You knew Thanatos was still around.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them stepping up to um to Blizzard and Omni stepping up to the Pyromancer. The second Blizzard gets executed, that's when we just leave. I didn't think he would be in execute range either, and turns out he did.
So Blue team
almost.
secures it. I did like the blink and the Ophimargus to try and steal it, just
I
not
don't.
enough. But I think this might be game here. They've gone. These
Oh,
kills have been getting staggered a lot. They do
it's
have
not.
about 4 towers to go through.
It's not over till the Titan is dead. That being
Another.
said, if they continuously try to do these single man hero ball plays, this game will be over. It's spiraling a bit out of hand, like you said. About 10K will be 10K after this tower, but I do believe red team's defense is good here.
I think they
I
have a
believe that's
great defense.
that being said, this is a 5v3 with 2 people dead and won't be back for at least 10 seconds. It's gonna be
They
hard to
just
defend this.
they're just pushing the go button. They just want to. They just want this game to be over. They just want to head home.
Unfortunately, they're gonna have to wait a little longer as they get the Phoenix, but that's about all they can do. They can maybe sweep the rest of these towers if they don't want to back and just spend what gold they have right now.
I do agree. They maybe could have done above towers, steal some of the obelisk chalices, get their own treb, go for Gold Fury, and then just get the farm on their map and call it a day and just set up for the next fire.
No, I didn't think they want to do that just because the rest of blue team was or red team was spawning. Bobsa came back, Ninja had come back, so they wanna play it safe. Don't wanna lose this. If they really want to go home and call it a day, it's better to not throw and force a game 3.
All right, both Solinier and supports have finally finished building their spectral armors, though. So hopefully those crits from that Charybdis starts hurting a little bit less.
I expect Charybdis's crits to not really hurt them that much anymore. So it'll be a case of what does player 6 do? Because I've seen maybe one good Argus this entire game.
I can agree. I think in these team fights, if you get plucked, you better drop Argus on top of you. There's gonna be like 6 people on top of you. Drop that sucker, do like 1,000 damage, and then just press your 3 and hope you live. Better hope that your team has the peel for you. You need to get out and have Argus do all that damage for you.
Now, everybody basically level 20 minus the supports. So XP wise, you're not gonna get as far and any farther than what you are right now. But item wise, you're seeing Thanatos full build. Rat still need a little bit of gold for his Heartseeker. Spooky Mars full build. Bops still needs one full item before he gets his and his starter upgrade before he gets his full build online. So you're gonna start seeing the items start to be an issue here
Now,
until
something that I want
now.
to point out here is that Killjoy sold his starter and went straight for a dominance here.
I like it as an auto attack based as a real heavy AA hunter. I feel like that extra pen that those auto attacks are gonna give really help him.
Now, King Arthur, I'm looking at him, and also Blizzato here. I don't want to step up if I'm you. I
Now,
want him dead before I ever start stepping up to this backline here.
but
But Rat
he stepped up.
initiating.
King Arthur wants the smoke. The crits are working in his favor.
Yeah, it's just a really good base defense, like you
Oh,
mentioned.
good,
But Bobs
good
comes in.
ultimate.
Oh
It's okay.
no, this is
That's a
looking
good.
like a back and forth.
That is a very good defense. If this is how we end this fight with, that's a very good defense.
They get a lot of relics burned as well. On top of that, they get the sprint out.
You protect your phoenixes. You get Fire Giant off a few key targets. Although I do think Fire Giant was just wearing off anyway. So and you keep the minions in that are spilling in right lane right now from really damaging your Titan.
Now they're finally gonna get this primal for you. I think they jumped up the gun a little bit there. They got a little bit greedy over there on that left bird invade. Right Phoenix coming up as well is gonna help alleviate some of that pressure in the right lane. So red team can definitely step up to this next fire giant and try to see if they can get a steal on it.
Fortunately, that right lane is the Fire Giant lane, so if they decide to step up any early, they can always just take a quick step to the right lane, clear that minion wave, and then be right back at the Fire Giant for the dance of the century.
Interesting pickup here is what the hair is building on the last item here. Is this? Do you think this is going to be like a Jade Emperor's crown sort of deal, where they're just going to reduce some of the physical power that this very physical heavy comp has?
Mm, I don't know. Bops is a Bops is a curious one like that. I've had the blessings to play with him a little bit, and he always has these ideas. I don't know if it's gonna work, but when he has an idea, it's always good to just listen to him and just let him do his thing. So
Fire Giant being started up by blue team here. Red team showing face. It's just a matter of who's going to pull the trigger, and
ooh,
oof,
that
big scythe.
I
But Rat's still going to go in. He is not scared. This Cucullin is looking like a good target. And Cucullin hit
he
by the
walked into the pillars.
but I don't think it's enough. Red team just again with the miscommunication.
That's a 4 for 0 right now, and that's a 5. That's a white. How did we
that's
get
game.
there?
It's just miscommunication, like you said earlier. I think that the Rat should have ulted onto the Cucullin there. He was the first one to go. If they just did that, they would have easily just I think turned the tides with that. I think they just tunneled onto somebody else, and then it cost them the fight at the end of the day.
Unfortunately, that's how the game will end 2-0 to the blue team, which is good. Fair play from them. They did play very good Smite for both both sets. The game 2, however, I gotta give it to the red team. They fought back.
I do agree. They did throw some punches back. They said, "Hey, we're not pushovers here. We also have some fight, and we're going to show it to you in the second game." We did not get our game 3 like we were hoping to get, but I think these games today were pretty exciting and also a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to see how they do in the rest of this season.
Most definitely. Obviously, week 1, you obviously want to start off on that high note. But I think this is something that the red team can learn from with how they played, especially game 2, saying, "Okay, we're okay. Just we can fight back. We're not gonna lose this game that easily. We have a game plan, we can set it up, and we can make it work." Now, obviously, I think some of their mishaps and miscues can be fixed with just one scrim or one even one post game talk. So fair play to Mind Goblins, but I think Hanford Hairnets just had their number today.
Yep. Uh, maybe they'll come next game and they'll fix up their comms. Maybe go something a little bit more comfortable. I think that the Rat did perform much better than the Thor. So maybe having more picks like this, where they can just get in, get out, do their damage. I think these sort of junglers will definitely help Ninja out in the long run as well.
I don't think it was their picks. I think it was more just like I said earlier, they're just their picks on who they called out to target, and otherwise it was. I think they played it well, but obviously you can't win them all. So
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to today's Fire Giant game. 2-0 to the Mind Goblins. And versus the Hanford Hairnets. Hopefully we can see you again in the next game coming up. Which is
is it not tomorrow? Tomorrow at 3 or 6?
all right. So next game will be tomorrow. Death Dealers versus the VHS at
What time?
what time? 6
6?
o'clock p.m.
Oh, I'm
EST.
good. Too good at this.
I need you to keep the time for me because I keep forgetting all the time. Well,
No, I think there's 2 games going on at that time, right? I think it's I think it's gonna be the is it gonna be a gold tier game on the second channel? I mean, I know we do have 2 games going on at the same time, and the one's gonna be on the second channel, one's gonna be on the main channel.
we do. It will be on the second channel. Same time.
Cool. Double
It
the
is,
Smite.
yeah, it'll be Death Dealers versus Sugar Daddies? Casual means versus Daddy Daycare. I do apologize. I get my teams
Sugar
mixed up a little
daddies,
bit.
yeah? Is that you got something you wanna tell me?
Maybe off stream we can talk about that. I don't think this is appropriate for an on stream discussion. All right. Well, thank you everybody who showed up today for the games. I hope you all had a great time, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. It has been a pleasure hosting this game. I'm Dorky Wannabe Goff, and this is
Get Slim.
all right.